What's up everybody, welcome back. Thank you so much for taking the time to hang out. In this video, we're taking out for a spin the Sirui 400mm lens for smartphones.
That is a habit I never had.
I hope everybody's safe, staying at home. Now, during this time, I've had the opportunity to go back in my catalog and be able to finalize videos that for some reason got delayed and never got finished. So I'm very happy to share the Sirui 400mm lens. This is officially the Sirui TL400. And yes, it is actually pronounced Sirui. I was fortunate enough to meet the Sirui team at CES 2020 in Las Vegas, and they had fantastic products on display like the TL400mm lens for smartphones. They also had their anamorphic lenses both for smartphones and mirrorless cameras, and I was very impressed by the potential of this lens. This is a 400mm lens that opens up the door for amazing close-up shots or zoom shots with your smartphone. And in my opinion, it tackles a huge zoom void in not all of them, but most smartphones. The Sirui 400mm lens will set you back $150. It includes everything you need to start shooting or filming. It comes with a Bluetooth remote, a carrying case, a tripod, and of course the mount for the lens itself. The lens is actually very sturdy. It feels really good. The housing and the components are made out of aircraft aluminum, and it has a multi-layer anti-reflective coating. Now, the great thing about this lens is that for those of you who need to zoom in at times, whether you're taking photos or videos of your kids at a basketball game or football game, or you just simply want to be able to zoom with your smartphone for specific situations, I think this is a fantastic option and a much lower cost than getting a full-blown camera that has half of the zoom than the Sirui TL400 has. It is relatively simple to set up. All you have to do is attach the tripod to the phone grip, and once everything is tight, you do have an articulating arm that allows you to fine-tune and fully adjust and make sure the lens is right over your camera. Now, if you're going to venture in zoom photography and videography, there's a couple things that I recommend. You definitely want to make sure you're using either the included small tripod or a much bigger tripod. And this is very important because if you're in an environment that has a lot of wind or unstable terrain, you do want to make sure your smartphone and the whole situation is tight and not moving. Since we're zooming in very drastically, you're definitely going to notice small vibrations from the wind. So you definitely want to make sure you're setting up for success. Bring a blanket or position yourself so you can block the wind, or preferably no wind at all. You definitely want to use the included Bluetooth remote or the timer in whichever application you're using. If you're shooting with the native camera app, you definitely want to make sure you're leveraging the timer, or if you're using a third-party app, most of them have a timer option as well. Because since we're zooming in very drastically, any small movement on top of the wind, any taps on the screen and things like that could translate to blurry photos and shaky videos. You definitely want to make sure that you're properly adjusting the back arm where the lens sits right in front of your phone. If the lens is not properly centered according to your camera, you might experience a little bit of vignetting and you might actually lose detail and sharpness. Before we proceed, this episode is brought to you by Slink. Slink is your digital business card. All your social media, streaming, e-commerce, and website links in one place. Another fantastic item that Slink has created recently is a Slink card. And this card not only allows you to share your information by using the QR code behind the card, but it also has the ability to share your information by just simply tapping your smartphone. If you want to get started with your own Slink app, the link is down in the description, or you can visit myslink.app. Now, for the best performance, in my opinion, on the iPhone 11 Pro Max, you do want to make sure you're using this lens with the native wide camera. The native camera has a 1.8 aperture, so it's technically the best option for you to get the most light into your sensor. And by placing the 400mm lens on this lens, you'll get pretty good results when you're zooming in, either doing video or taking photos. Now you do have the option to get an even crazier zoom by using the Sirui 400mm lens on top of your 2x telephoto lens, at least on the iPhone 11 Pro Max. Technically, this is like 800mm. Having said that, for this to happen, you might need to use a third-party application like VMic Pro or virtually any manual application that allows you to switch between lenses. The reason for this is that the main camera might switch lenses in order to give you the best light performance. So whenever we put the Sirui 400mm lens on top of the 2x telephoto lens, the phone might understand that there's not a lot of light coming inside the sensor, and it might try to 2x zoom using the native white lens, kind of like a crop, and you can actually see just pretty much how the phone is switching for you in order to give you the best experience. And that's why we use a third-party application, so we can choose the telephoto or the white lens, or even the ultra wide if you feel like doing so. So we took the Sirui TL400 out for a quick test, and we compared, of course, with and without the lens on the iPhone 11 Pro Max. On top of that, I also have some footage of the Pixel 4 XL on the same environment, so we have a little bit of an idea of what that environment looks like with no lenses at all. Now, in my opinion, the Sirui TL400 is a fantastic option for those looking to enhance and experiment. I found that the best results are when things are not super far away, kind of like a telephoto lens, or maybe like 100 feet. It could be a really good portrait-esque kind of lens. But definitely very useful if you have a tripod and the conditions are ideal. You could totally get some really awesome shots and close-up footage. But I want to know what you think. Let me know your thoughts in the comment section down below. If you have any questions or suggestions, drop them down there so we can continue to create relevant content for you. Once again, thank you so much for sharing your time with me. I'll catch you on the next one.